Princess Seralith then slammed her palm onto the treaty scanner. The device hummed, etching her genetic seal into the digital stone. Across the grand hall, Evan Cade stood motionless in his human envoy suit, eyes steady on the holographic vows projecting between them. By this bond, the officiant intoned, the human envoy binds to the Ven Palace. No exit without royal decree. Seralith's mandibles clicked in satisfaction. The claws locked him in, her perfect leash for the fragile peace. Humans craved freedom. This would keep Evan Cade compliant, a symbol of submission. Evan raised a hand. Hold. Gasps rippled through the assembly. Chancellor Voss Tehran leaned forward from his dais, frills flaring. Admiral Hark Juno crossed his arms, armored plates scraping. The officiant blinked multifaceted eyes. Envoy Cade, the vows are scripted. Recite or forfeit the alliance. Evan smiled faintly. Scripted vows bind no one worth binding. Add 3 clauses. Seralith's crest rose. Insolence. She stepped closer, her voice a silken hiss. You presume to edit our treaty? In front of the coalition? Presume? Evan met her gaze. Propose. Clause 1. Mutual non-interference in internal security. Your agents stay out of my quarters. Mine stay out of yours. Admiral Juno snorted. He demands palace access? Clause 2, Evan continued, ignoring him. Shared threat intelligence. Real-time data on border incursions. No hoarding. Chancellor Voss's eyes narrowed. Seralith felt the Chancellor's gaze bore into her. This human dismantled their leverage mid-ceremony. Clause 3, Evan said. Arbitration by neutral third party. Human coalition oversight. For disputes. Prevents escalation. The hall fell silent. Seralith calculated. Non-interference neutered surveillance. Shared intel forced transparency Voss hated. Arbitration bypassed her courts. She could refuse, derail the marriage. But the treaty's core demanded union. Peace hung by this thread. Acceptable, she said. Her claw tapped the scanner. The addendum glowed green, sealed. Evan nodded once. I vow. The officiant stammered through the rest. Rings exchanged, hers a crystal band resizing to his finger, his a simple alloy loop on her secondary digit. The crowd clapped politely, but tension crackled. Seralith gripped Evan's arm. Welcome to your cage, husband. His pulse stayed even under her scales. Lead on. Chancellor Voss intercepted them at the hall's edge. His whisper carried only to her auditory slits. Security Chief Lyra records every breach. This improvisation? Leverage for annulment. Seralith's mandibles tightened. Voss played both sides, as always. Public supporter. Private saboteur. Do nothing rash.
He's contained. Voss's frills pulsed red.
Contain a treaty rivrider? Watch him closer. He signaled the shadows. Palace guards nodded. Optic implants whirring to life. Seralith towed Evan into the reception line. Coalition dignitaries formed a glittering wall. Filled ministers. Plated admirals. All eyes on the human trophy. First, Admiral Juno. He loomed, blocking their path. Human, your clauses mock our fleets. Prove loyalty or step aside. Evan extended a hand. Admiral, your patrols hold the line. My intel fills the gaps. Shake on it, Juno hesitated. Custom demanded rejection. Untested allies bowed first. But Evan's grip waited firm. The Admiral clasped it. Gaps, you say? Transmit now. Evan tapped his wrist comm. Data streamed to Juno's implant. Latest drone sweeps. Kregan scout patterns. Juno's plates shifted. Surprise. Verified. Accurate. He stepped aside. Next. Minister Thaler, Voss's ally. Envoy. Court rule. Declare one asset you bring us. Impress or insult. Seralith tensed. Humans hoarded tech. He'd falter. Evan shrugged. Diplomacy. I broker with species you've warred for centuries. Thalor laughed. Vague specifics. Last cycle I mediated the Zorath ceasefire. Your border stabilized. Evan leaned in. Ask Voss. He reviewed the files. Fowler's crest deflated. He parted. Seralith's grip tightened on Evan's arm. Each exchange chipped her script. They reached Lady Elvira, Voss's whisperer. Human pet. Kneel to greet nobility. Evan bowed at the waist. Human custom, precise. Lady, honored. Elvira recoiled. No kneel, tradition shattered. Insolent. Reciprocal, Evan said mildly.
You bowed not.
Murmurs swelled. Seralith dared him silently. Survive this gauntlet unbroken. One by one they passed. Evan deflecting barbs with facts, handshakes, offers of data. No bluster, just results. Her calm buzzed. Mirasato's voice patched through Evan's link. Evan, constraints holding. Voss's guards are logging everything. Evan subvocalized, inaudible to her. Improvising inside lines. Send palace schematics. Seralith caught the exchange. Mirasato, his handler. Another layer. The line ended. Voss watched from afar, frills darkening. Seralith pulled Evan into a side alcove. You rewrote our peace mid-vows, defied court with outrage. What are you? Evan checked his ring. Your husband, keeping the peace. Her crest flushed. Not tame. A weapon sheathed in calm. Voss's plots crumbled already. A guard approached. Princess. Chancellor summons. Human breach logged. Unscripted clauses. Seralith waved him off. Review the treaty. Legally binding. The guard retreated. Evan watched her, unperturbed. He's locked in? No. Evan Cade just unlocked the game, and Voss had no idea how deep the board ran. Seralith pressed Evan into the seat at the royal table's poisoned flank, low-backed, facing the wrong faction banners. One bite from the crystal bowls, sacred nectar fruits reserved for core world nobles. And war reignited. Voss had rigged the menu himself, frills quivering in anticipation from across the hall. Admiral Hark loomed nearby, claws tapping. Seralith's crest itched. Test him now before the real knives fell. Evan scanned the spread. Steam rose from spiced kelp wraps. Glistening nectar orbs sat central, guarded by tradition. Servers hovered, eyes sharp. Human envoy. Lady Avira purred from her high perch. Partake. Show alliance spirit. Evan nodded. Picked a kelp wrap. Bit clean, chewed slow. Murmurs rippled. Safe choice, but bland. Meant for underlings. Voss leaned forward. Seconds? Evan asked the server. Pointed to the nectar orbs. Gasps sliced the air. Seralith's scales tightened. Bold. Reckless. The server froze. Those honor core world only. Lord Cade. Evan smiled mild. Earth custom. Share feasts. Princess? He glanced her way. Seralith's pulse spiked. Deny. Insult humans. Allow. Break protocol. Voss's trap snapped shut. She signaled assent. Server plated 2 orbs for Evan. He ate. Juice-stripped chin. Exquisite. Trade this? Core world surplus offsets rimworld grain deficits. Admiral Hark barked. Irrelevant. Eat. Don't bargain. Evan wiped mouth. Cross-check. Core world nectar for Elandri silks. Elandri silks fund Vossari patrols. Vossari patrols secured trade lanes for all. He tapped his comm ring. Data flickered unseen. Factions align. Concession drafts here. Hollow screens bloomed above the table. Triple referenced demands, woven seamless. Avira's frills paled. Voss choked on his sip. Seralith stared. He parsed their archives mid-bite. No consult. Pure recall. Accepted, she said. Voice steady. Servers circulated nectar freely now. Cheers masked Voss's glare. Admiral Hark shoved back his chair. Claws gouged wood. Fleet ultimatum stands. Human world seed outer relays. Or no patrols. Answer without Earth. Prove worth. Table hushed. Relays controlled jump lanes. Yield them, humans neutered. Fight. Alliance fractures. Evan set down his utensil. Calm as docking logs. Verification protocol. Hark snorted.
Words. Each faction logs red lines publicly.
Fleet scans relays for threats. Core World verifies cargo manifests. Vossari audits patrols. Elandri cross-checks. Evan leaned in. Mutual reveals. No secrets. Peace holds if lines match. Seralith's mind reeled. Forces transparency. Every hidden agenda exposed. Hark's distrust. Voss's sabotage. Her own contingencies. Hark's vents hissed. You dictate terms? Propose. Humans verify too. Evan subvocalized to his link. Mirasato's voice ghosted Seralith's intercept. Protocol solid. Schematics confirm palace feeds clean. Push. Admiral paused. Claws retracted fraction. Logs by dawn. Agreed. Evan said. Voss surged up. Outrage. Unscripted. Binding. Serlith cut in. Her hand brushed Evan's under table. Steady pulse. No fear sent. Husband's initiative. Alliance evolves. Guests filed out, buzzing. Hark nodded curt to Evan. First respect. Voss stormed off, guards trailing. Serlith led Evan from the hall. Alcove shadows cloaked them. You turned nectar into treaty. Fleet trap into mirror. How? Evan checked corridors by a ring scan. Diplomacy. Connect dots. Her crest flushed hot. Dots? He rewove their web blind. Mira fed constraints. He danced inside. Voss plotted control. Instead, Evan exposed them all. Com buzzed. Mira again. Evan Voss rerouting guards. Exit Alpha. Change course, Evan murmured. Serlith gripped his arm. Not tame. A strategist who treated intrigue like checklists. Her weapon now. They slipped into service tunnels. Voss's whisperer tailed. Evira. Frills aglow with rage come. Evan paused at junction. Princess, your play. She smiled sharp. Flush him out. Evan nodded. Tapped wall panel, schematics live. Alarms wailed selective. Evira flushed into open hall, caught by Hark's patrol. Traitor logged. Hark growled over comm. Serlith's laugh echoed soft. Voss's game board cracked, but Evan's ring pulsed warning. Mira, Earth relay. Incoming. Real ultimatum. They know your improv. Demand recall. Evan's calm held. Tell them protocol first. Serlith watched him defy stars themselves. Peace. No. He forged empire from bites and bows. Voss waited in throne antechamber. Frills black. Princess. Human oversteps. End this farce. She seated beside Evan. Farce ends when lines reveal. Dawn. Admiral Hark entered. Logs in claw. Relays clean. Red lines match. Mostly. Evan cross-checked hollow. Vossari outlier. Patrol funds siphoned. Voss recoiled. Lies. Data, Evan said. Shared feed. Hark's eyes narrowed. Chancellor? Serlith rose. Alliance forms without thieves. Voss lunged. Guards hesitated. Evan sidestepped. Pinned arm gentle, but iron. Review terms. Hark signaled arrest. Voss dragged out, spitting. Serlith faced Evan. Pulse raced. You saw it coming. Patterns. He released Voss's echo in mind. Freed her cord. Her hand lingered on his. Crest bloomed full. Not control. Partnership. Mira cut in. Evan. Earth's impressed. Protocol adopted galaxy-wide. You're staying. Evan smiled. Home's where peace is. Dawn broke. Fleets realigned. Alliance sealed. But Serlith caught Voss's final glare from cells. One loose thread. Evan's ring hummed. New data. War averted. Game just began. Guards burst into the throne antechamber. Blasts echoed from the palace halls. Red lights pulsed across the walls. Human. Isolated sector. A guard's frills flared, claws gripping Evan's arm. Princess secured. You. Containment. Evan twisted free, calm as a handshake. His ring vibrated. Mira's ping. Staged. Voss loyalists. Crowd surge inbound. Improv tight. Serlith's voice cut through comms. Evan! Status? He dodged another grab. Eyes on the swelling crowd beyond the doors. Palace staff and envoys shoved in panic. Shouts rose in Vener tongue. Sharp, hissing panic. Coming to you, Evan said. He slipped past the guards, weaving into the throng. Frills quivered everywhere. A junior aide trampled another. Fists flew. The air thickened with fear pheromones, a Venar cascade that fed the frenzy. Evan planted feet wide. Human de-escalation drill 1. Anchor. He raised empty hands high. Breathe with me. In. Out. Crowd ignored him. A claw slashed near his shoulder. Drill 2. Mirror. He matched their rhythm. Slow breaths. Palms open. His voice dropped low. Steady. Eyes. Ear. 1. Voice. A ripple spread. Nearest frills stilled. They mimicked. Chests heaving in sync. Drill 3 redirect. Threats contained. Voss secured. Move to blue zones. Calm paths.
He pointed to Lidivac lines on the floor, pulsing safe.
The surge broke. Staff flowed orderly. Envoys followed, murmuring awe. Admiral Hark pushed through. Mandibles clicking. How? Pheromony null? Evan shrugged. Training. Routine. Seralith appeared at the corridor mouth, her crest half bloomed, eyes locked on him. She grabbed his wrist. No protocol. Private. Now. Guards parted. She yanked him into a shadowed alcove, doors sealing with a hiss. Her scales brushed his arm. Close. Too close for royals. What was that? De-escalation. You stopped a riot in seconds. Our dampeners take minutes. Evan met her gaze. Partnership lingered from last night, hand on hand. But boundaries held. Standard human crisis protocol. Navy basics. Breathe. Mirror. Redirect. She paced, frills twitching. Voss triggered it. His cell feed hacked alarms. Meant to fracture us. Show you weak. Isolated. Failed. Evan checked his ring. Mira. Clean exit. But patrols rerouting. Loose thread pulling. Seralith stopped inches away. Heat radiated from her. You treat galaxy-ending panics like drills. No awe? No flex? He smiled faint. Crisis is routine. Humans drill it daily. Keeps us steady. Her claw traced his ring, pulse quickened. Hers or his. Underestimated. Again. Voss gloated you'd crack under isolation. Evan stepped back. Space reclaimed. Sets a pattern. If we're partners, boundaries first. She tilted head, intrigued. Contract? Joint access. All threat reports, losses outliers, patrol logs, cell hacks. No silos. We review together. Her crest flared full. Respect, not control. Agreed.
But you lead drills. My court needs this. Human quiet.
A guard comm buzzed. Hark's voice. Princess! Voss escaped. Loyalists inbound. Armed. Seralith's hand gripped Evan's. Your move. Evan's ring hummed hotter. Mira. Earth relay. Full support. Show them more. Crowd control was step 1. Voss loose meant step 2. He nodded to Seralith. Blue zones first, then we hunt patterns. Alarms reignited. But the palace moved as one now. Human steady in alien storm. Seralith pulled him deeper into corridors. Her scales gleamed under emergency glow. Training details. Now. Evan kept pace. Starts with breath. Humans lack pheromones, so we build habits. Drill 1. Anchor posture. Feet shoulder width, hands visible. No threats. She nodded. Sharp. We flare dominance. Yours invites calm. Drill 2. Vocal anchor. Low tone. Repeat key phrases. Safe path. Cuts noise. A distant blast shook walls. Guards shouted ahead. Drill 3, Evan continued. Redirect energy. Point to actions. Evac lines, not fights. Seralith halted at a junction. Holomat flickered. Red dots swarmed service tunnels. Voss's trail. Your patterns, she said. Voss siphoned funds to these cells. Predicted, outliers match. Evan synced his ring to the map. Data flowed. Control gaps, hacked feeds. He loops loyalists here. Her eyes widened. You see it unbriefed? Routine analysis. He traced a line. Cut them at Nexus 3. Joint teams. Hark comet again. Princess, human, hold, fleet seals perimeter. Seralith ignored. Evan leads. Send de-escalators. Evan raised brow. My drills? All of them. Her claw squeezed his. Romance flickered. Forced proximity turned choice. They charged the Nexus. Guards flanked. Frills steady from fresh drills. Voss's squad burst out. 5 armed, frills black with rage. Evan anchored first. Hands up. Safe path back. They faltered. Human voice pierced pheromone haze. Seralith flanked left. Crest commanding. Surrender. Alliance watches. 2 dropped weapons. Drills spread. Mirrors rippled. Hark's troops swarmed. Voss's last man lunged. Evan sidestepped. Pinned gentle iron. Review terms. Cuffs clicked. Voss's plot crumbled again. Seralith faced Evan. Breath fast. Weapon.
You are the weapon. Partner.
He corrected. Ring pulsed. Mira Voss recaptured. Earth's protocol vids viral. Awe incoming. Admiral Hark arrived. Logs clutched. Efficient. Red lines gone. Seralith's hand stayed on Evan's arm. Joint reports. Start now. Full access. Evan nodded. Dawn review. but his ring whispered new. Voss explosions rocked the border station. Evan gripped the rail as Seralith yanked him toward the bridge. Red lights pulsed. Klaxons wailed. Human frigates loomed on one viewscreen flank, alien dreadnoughts on the other, weapons hot, locks primed. "Stay behind me," Seralith hissed, her frills flaring crimson. She shoved through the hatch. Guards snapped salutes. Evan stepped past her, unarmed.
"Straight onto the command deck."
Officers froze. Human Captain Hale stared from the main comm feed. Admiral Hark Juno's face filled the alien side, mandibles clenched. "Checklist," Evan said. "Calm. Routine." He tapped his ring. Shared hollows projected between bridges. Linked protocols from joint drills. Step 1. Visual confirm no hull breaches. Hale blinked. "Envoy Cade, this is live fire." "Confirm," Evan cut in. He pointed at the hollow. Green ticks lit as Hale's crew scanned. Hark snarled. "Human foolery ends now. Weapons lock on human lead ship." "Prove your recklessness." Seralith's claw dug into Evan's arm. "Admiral, stand down." Evan ignored the pinch. He leaned into the central console. Sensors flickered. Odd ghost signatures danced at the fleet edges. Not random. Spoofed. His ring hummed. "Mira. Jammer trace. Third party?" "Boss signature?" "Negative on lock," Evan said. He swiped the holo. Comms rerouted through station backups, bypassing the glitch. Clean channel snapped open. "Captain Hale, cycle your IFF beacon." "Admiral, match freak 47-2. Hale complied first. Ping. Human signatures clarified. Hark hesitated. Mandibles clicked. "Insolence. Now," Evan said, no raise in voice. Hark's bridge erupted in shouts. Attack barked. Jammer exposed. Source vector 192 Mark 7. Cloaked probe. Evan traced it. Ring overlaid data. Boss loyalist signature. Matches Nexus logs. Seralith's eyes widened. She seized the console. "All ships. Cease fire. Track that probe. Fleets powered down. Weapons cold." Hale's voice crackled through. "Evan, you just walked into that?" "Routine de-escalation," Evan replied. He synced the probe track to shared hollow. Joint intercept teams launched. Human drones, alien interceptors. Probe snared in minutes. Voss's glyph etched on its hull. Admiral Hark's face softened. Awe rippled his frills. "You saw the spoof unprompted. Repurposed our comms blind." Evan shrugged. "Drills. We run them daily." Seralith pulled him aside. Her crest brushed his shoulder, intimate, unforced. "They aimed to spark war. You stopped it. Alone." "Team," he corrected. His hand covered hers. Warm scales met skin. "Choice, now." Hark. ComEd open. Princess. Envoy. Full joint command access granted. Human protocols integrated. Hale nodded on feed. "Earth's got our backs." Evan's ring pulsed. "Mira." Voss fled coreward, cells mobilizing. Awe vids at 2 mil views. Alliance polls spike. Seralith leaned close, breath scented with spice. "Chancellor Voss underestimated you. We all did." Evan met her gaze. "Peace holds when we drill together." Alarms quieted. Station stabilized, but his ring buzzed again. "Mira." Voss boarded Shadow Shuttle. Destination. Earth Embassy. Evan's jaw tightened. He tapped reply. Route intercepts. Seralith noticed. New threat? Always one more. He squeezed her claw. Joint response. Her frills flushed violet. "Yours and mine." Hark's voice boomed. "Fleets reform. Human-led, on point." Evan stepped back to the console. Fleets wheeled. Unified. Human ingenuity meshed with alien might. Voss's game cracked wider. But the shuttle's shadow slipped sensors. Mira's next ping burned. He's inside embassy perimeter. Guards down. Evan moved. Seralith. Earth run. Now. She nodded. No questions. They bolted for the shuttle bay. Alliance forged in fire, and one man's quiet drills. Hark trailed on comms. Human. Lead on. Evan's ring lit with Mira's grid. Voss's trail glowed. They launched into void. Chase hot. Seralith gripped his seat. Your worlds. Our fates. Drills for that too, Evan said. Proximity alerts screamed. Voss's shuttle danced evasion. Evan patched fleet links. Hark. Flank Vector 310. Hail disruptor net. Orders flew. Trap sprung. Voss's craft stalled. Boarding teams clamped. Evan watched feeds. Voss dragged out. Frills limp. Sarilith exhaled. Weapon. Partner, Evan said again. He pulled her close. Lips met scales. Soft. Electric. Alliance seals stamped. Awe spread galaxy-wide. Humans? Quietly unstoppable. But Mira's final ping. Voss talked. Bigger cell. Core worlds. Evan synced maps. Game never ended. Hollow screens ignited across the Grand Tribunal's vaulted chamber. Chancellor Voss's face, frills defiant even in custody, filled every feed. Evan Cade manipulates our princess, his leaked voice boomed.
Annual, the Union.
Purge the human taint. Sarilith's claws dug into Evan's arm. She yanked him through the throng of robed adjudicators and frilled nobles. Gasps rippled. Her scales gleamed under the harsh lights. Violet frills rigid with fury. Defend yourself, she hissed, shoving him toward the central dais. No alien council. Your words only. Evan straightened his tunic. The chamber's air hummed with sensor drones. Thousands watched via galactic link. He scanned the faces. Admiral Hark Juno glowered from the front row, arms crossed. Mira's encrypted ping vibrated his ring. Leaks doctored, timestamps off. Improvise. Proceed, intoned High Adjudicator Lyra, her tentacles coiling tight. Evan stepped to the Nexus console. Voss's footage looped, edited clips of him whispering to Sarilith during fleet maneuvers, splicing in false orders that proved human sabotage. He tapped the console. Run a simulation. Live. Public. Murmurs swelled. Lyra's eye stalks swiveled. Clarify, human. Replay the leak. Overlay real-time negotiation model.
His fingers flew.
Human system software bloomed on screens. Grids of fleet vectors, comm logs, probability webs. Alien code balked at first, then meshed. Witnesses, call your proofs. A Voss loyalist, Minister Krell surged forward. He forged alliances behind our backs. See the timestamps? Evan zoomed the grid. Timestamp here. Your ship's log there. A red line slashed across Krell's claim. Disrupted by your own disruptor burst. Voss ordered it. Hides his bribe trail. Krell's frills paled. Preposterous. Test it. Evan pulled Hark into the sim. Admiral, your fleet data. Confirm Vector 310 flank. Hark hesitated, then linked his pad. Data flooded in, the model word. Vectors aligned perfectly. Flawless, Hark grunted. His eyes widened. Human led that trap. Voss evaded until we clamped. The chamber stirred. Sarilith watched Evan, her gaze sharpening. She leaned close. How? Drills, Evan murmured. Humans chain variables. You excel at might. We map the web. Lyra tapped her console. Expand simulation. Audit Voss's ledgers. Evan nodded. No pause. He routed core world finance nodes. Public access only, but layered. Bribery webs unspooled. Voss funneling credits to separate his cells. Names lit up. Krell's among them. Traitor! A noble roared. Krell bolted for the exit. Guards swarmed. Evan pinned the minister's comm with a trace ping.
He's messaging the cell.
Core world strike imminent. Hark barked orders. Now the chamber. Fleet lockdown. Sarilith gripped Evan's hand. Her claws softened. You saw it all. Before. Patterns repeat. He squeezed back. The ring warmed. Mira's approval pulse. Adjudicators conferred in frenzy. Lyra raised a tentacle. Leak debunked. Corruption exposed. Marriage stands. Human. Integrated. Cheers erupted, mixed with stunned silence. Aliens leaned forward. Frills flickering awe. Whispers spread. He unraveled the machine. Quietly. Hark approached, saluting stiffly. Your system's thinking. We need it. Permanent embed? Evan glanced at Sarilith. Her scales brushed his. Electric. Joint command, she said. Evan leads the audit. He nodded. Partnership sealed deeper. But Mira's ping burned. Cell's leader unmasked. In this chamber, eyes open. Evan scanned the crowd. One frill didn't cheer. Blaster fire ripped through the chamber doors. Evan dove left as Voss's shot vaporized Adjudicator's podium. The Chancellor's frill pulsed crimson rage. Human witch!
You end here!
Seralith's claws locked on Evan's arm. She yanked him toward a side hatch.
Exile protocol!
Courier bay, now. Her scales flushed violet, breath hissing through gills. Guards clashed with Voss's loyalists, bodies hit the floor. Evan matched her sprint, mind cataloging exits. Mira's comm buzzed in his ear. Voss leads the cell. Fleet inbound. Run! They burst into the bay. Seralith slapped the courier's ramp seal. Engines whined to life. Pilot! Core evasion vector! The ship lurched skyward, inertial dampers straining. Voss's corvette loomed on scanners. Too close. Evan strapped in beside her. Damage? He pulled a data slate from his kit. Fingers flying. Shields holding. For now. Seralith gripped the co-pilot yoke, eyes on the hollow display. Pursuit icons multiplied. Why exile with you? My duty keeps us both alive. He patched into public nets, scraping Alliance rosters. Names, ranks, loyalties cross-referenced against Voss's bribe logs from the chamber hack. Patterns emerged. Isolated commanders. Purge risks. Voss plays long game. We build counterweb. Her frill twitched. Map it already? She leaned over his slate. Tentacles of data linked. Admiral Hark's fleet node vulnerable to budget cuts. Core world ministers. Voss tainted. Evan nodded. Targeted outreach. Message Hark first. Offer mutual defense audit. Flags his command from Purge. He cued the burst transmission. Admiral, Voss reroutes your fuel allotments to separatists. Joint framework secures your line. Coordinates enclosed. Dash Evan Cade. Seralith's eyes widened, scales shimmering. Bold. He hates humans. She fired her own ping to fringe nobles. Voss betrays coalition. Evidence attached. Rally to Hark. Alarms blared. Interception, the pilot shouted. Admiral Hark's cruiser dwarfed them, tractors locking. Hark's voice boomed over comms. Courier vessel, power down. Evan Cade surrender for stability. Human meddling ends. Evan keyed response. Calm. Admiral, stability requires your command intact. Voss purges dissenters. Your fleet next. Scan attached ledgers. Silence stretched. Seralith's claws dug into her seat. He'll board us. Bark growled back. Lies. Voss cleared.
You flee justice.
Evan routed live feed. Voss's corvette closing, weapons hot. Live track. He's hunting us both. Mutual defense framework. I audit your logistics. You shield this ship. Voss exposed your position ironclad. Tractor beams flickered. Hark's cruiser pivoted, lancing fire at Voss's tail. Data verified. Shields up, courier. Dock with me. Seralith exhaled. Frill relaxing. You turned him. Evan adjusted course. Patterns. He needed the push. Docking clamps thudded. Airlock cycled. Hark strode aboard, armored bulk filling the hatch. His frill stood rigid, eyes locked on Evan. Your web, it saves my command. Voss planned reallocation. My crew's starved. Evan extended a hand. Framework formalizes it. Shared audits. Human-alien leads. Hark clasped it, grip crushing then easing. Accepted. But prove loyalty. Voss's cell strikes core depot in 12 hours. Seralith rose, standing shoulder to shoulder with Evan. We lead the counter. Evan's map. Your fleets execute. Hark saluted her, then Evan. Awe flickered in his stance, frill tips curling. Human quietens the storm. Coalition embeds you both. Evan's comm pulsed. Mira's good pivot. Depot sims incoming. One frill still hides. Scanners pinged. Voss's remnants scattered, but a shadow ship ghosted their flank. Seralith's hand brushed Evan's. Claws gentle. Alliance mid-chase. Fitting. Hark barked to his bridge. Full pursuit. Cade coordinates. Evan pulled the slate. New nodes lit. Coalition solidifying. But that shadow frill waited. The courier shuddered into hyperspace jump. Hark's cruiser escorting. Voss's web frayed, but the core strike loomed. Evan traced the shadow's signature. One more pattern to unravel. Seralith watched him work, scales warm against his side. They underestimate you still. He smiled faintly. We map together now. Hark's voice cut in. Incoming alliance pings. Your outreach spreads. Evan nodded. The chase built their shield, quietly. But Mira pinged urgent. Shadow's pilot. Inner circle. Boarding risk. Evan scanned Hark's crew manifests. A frill didn't salute. Admiral, he said softly. Purge starts inside. Hark's frill flared crimson. You hold! The crewman spun, claws twitching toward a concealed panel. Guards swarmed him before his hand closed. They pinned the frill flat, dragging him to the brig amid snarls and shouts. Evan watched from the bridge console. Slate humming. Scans confirmed. The shadow ship's codes matched Boss's inner circle. Mira's ping lit his comm. Traitor cracked. Voss's endgame. Conclave sabotage during vote. Lockdown codes, incoming. Seralith gripped Evan's shoulder, scales cool through his uniform. Capital approach. We end this. The courier pierced orbital defenses, shuttles detached, racing to the grand spire. Alarms wailed below. Voss's web tightening. Seralith strode into the central chamber first, royal banner unfurling from her cuff. Conclave! By blood right, I summon all factions. Now. Factions poured in. Frilled ministers, scaled generals, Voss at the podium with oily poise. Admiral Hark arrived last, his cruiser fleet pinging allegiance on every display. Evan followed Seralith to the dais, Slate linked to the broadcast arrays. Eyes locked on him. Whispers rippled. Humans didn't summon conclaves, they observed. Seralith nodded. Evan activated the holo. A web of light bloomed. Trade routes secured. Fleet deployments verified by neutral scanners. Resource pacts auto-enforced via blockchain relays. Every node glowed green. Cross-checked live. This is the architecture, Evan said, voice steady, verifiable. Public. Sign or explain why peace fails today. Silence crushed the chamber. A minister's frill quivered. Human maps. Flawless integration. Hark grunted approval. My fleet's locket. Tested in the depot strike. Voss leaned forward. Smile sharp. Admirable. Pure coalition blood. Murmurs swelled. Factions shifted. Voss's block solid. Seralith's claws tapped the podium. Call it. Vote. Voss slammed his slate. Lights flashed. Tally climbing his way. Klaxon screamed. Bulkhead sealed with grinding thuds. Security drones deployed. Red beams sweeping toward the dais. Royal seizure for stability, a trooper barked. Voss's guards advanced. Stunners raised. Chaos erupted. Ministers dove for cover. Hark drew his sidearm. Evan didn't flinch. His slate pulsed. Mira's lockdown codes ready. Seralith's hand found his under the podium. Grip iron. Now, she whispered. Evan hit execute. Override signals flooded the system. Drones froze midair, then pivoted. Trooper visors lit with alliance pings. Hark's fleet overrides, locking them down. Seralith's voice boomed over the broadcast. Voss Tehran. Treason exposed. Hark's earlier purge vid projected. The crewmen confessing Voss's core depot plot, shadow ship logs, bribe trails to the guards now pinned. Live feeds from orbiting cruisers showed Voss's hidden assets fleeing, tagged for pursuit. Voss lunged for the exit, but drones blocked him. Lies. Human trickery. Evan stepped forward, slate beaming the vote tally reversal. Faction slates auto-updated. Voss's block flipped by the evidence flood. Sign, Evan said, or your web burns public. Ministers surged to the hollow. Styluses stabbed nodes. Green locks sealing. The architecture hardened into law, broadcasts beaming to every coalition world. Hark clapped Evan's back. Frill curling in respect. Quiet purge. Human normalcy breaks coups. Seralith pulled Voss to his knees herself, claws at his throat. Chancellor no more. Alliance endures. Evan's comb buzzed. Mira's vote locked. But Voss's shadow pinged a deep bunker. One frill uncaptured. Voss laughed through bloodied scales. You map the web. I am the core. Seralith's eyes met Evan's. Fire and calm. We hunt together. Hark's fleets mobilized on the hollow. Evan traced the bunker signature, patterns aligned. But Voss's gaze held a final secret. The chamber doors hissed open. Fresh troops saluted, not Voss's. The Alliance breathed.